Welcome to the class of similarity studies. In this class, we are going to study about the similarity between the sequences. We can use either gene sequence or protein sequence for the similarity studies. For the similarity studies, it is better to use protein sequence so that you will get more informations and rather than compared to the nucleotide sequence, because of the less composition. Say the gene sequence is made up of only by GATC4 bases, whereas the protein sequence is made up of by using 20 amino acids. So because of that reason, it's better we should use a protein sequence for similarity study analysis. So we will get informations like conservative and all. We are getting very good output in the case of protein sequences. So we will carry out this sequence similarity studies by using a bioinformatics tool. When you are going to the sequence similarity studies, here we are going to see about the sequences. Okay, sequence similarity is generally carried out either in pairwise alignment way or in a multiple sequence alignment way. That is, pairwise means if you use two sequence, multiple sequence means when you use more than two sequence. And then in pairwise sequence alignment, you will compare two sequences either by local alignment method or by the global alignment method. The local, as the word clearly indicates, a part of the sequence is compared, whereas in the global alignment we will compare the whole sequence is going to be compared in a global alignment method. Then we can carry out a multiple sequence alignment using many number of sequences. So to carry out a local sequence alignment, we will use a Blast tool, and global pairwise alignment we will use a FASTA tool. Similarly, for a multiple sequence alignment, we will use a cluster W tool. Now we will see the tools and the algorithms used for these type of tools. Okay, for Blast tool, usually the Smith-Wartman algorithm is used. For the FASTA program, usually a Needleman-Wunsch algorithm is used for the FASTA program. And then for multiple sequence alignment, we have different algorithms and scoring matrices are available. For example, PAM, Blossom, and GoNet. These are the scoring matrices used for the multiple sequence alignment. So straight away now we are going to carry out local pairwise alignment using Blast tool. So for that purpose we need first a gene sequence. As I already told that we can collect protein sequence, that is better way you can carry out similarity studies. So we go to the UniProt database. That is the one which will give more protein sequence is available. So we'll go to port UniProt and we will type the name of the gene, and then you can see we have so many genes in the UniProt for amylase. We selected one of the gene for our studies. When you go to this UniProt database, the sequence will be listed below, and then you reach the sequence part, and then you can click the FASTA link and you will get the sequence in FASTA format. You can either save the sequence for future purpose as text file, and then now you copy the sequence, and then to run the Blast tool we should go to Google NCBI Blast. Okay, NCBI Blast you can so you go to this Google and then type NCBI Blast. It is there. You click NCBI Blast, and this is the NCBI Blast homepage. And here you can see basic Blast. There are about 5 basic Blast programs available, and then we have many specialized Blast programs available. And this basic Blast are nucleotide Blast, which will compare nucleotide and nucleotide sequence, and protein Blast will compare protein with protein sequence. Similarly, we have different comparison pattern also. So of this we are going to take a protein sequence, so it's better to go protein Blast option. If you want to select nucleotide, you will go Blast N. If you want to do protein Blast, you will go to protein. So now you copy the sequence, and you see this, you can paste the FASTA format sequence, or you can give even access to numbers or gene IDs also. So you will paste the sequence, and then there are different options available. You can paste the whole genome sequence here, and you can only query a part of the sequence by using this option. or you can upload the file and you can give the title for the job, and then you can select the database towards which your sequence has to be searched, and then you can select the type of blast layer. There are different options available. We are going to choose the default option of protein blast. So after selecting all these parameters, you can run the blast program, and this program will take a little bit of time to carry out the blast. Okay, so after running the blast, you will get the different part of the output. Usually graphical output is there, and then list, and then it will have an alignment. So we have three parts of the blast output. One is the graphical part output, and then is the text part output, and then the alignment part output. As I told, it will take a little bit time, and this time you will see the sequence is identified as amylase. It is contained a sequence which is known as amylase family subfamily is identified, and then it will contain multiple domains to for this alpha amylase gene is also identified, and then different binding sites are identified, and then catalytic sites are identified, and then active sites are identified. So by running this BLAST-P program, already we identified all these parts of our sequence, and even it will contains alpha amylase superfamily domain also. So once the search is completed, we will get the result in three parts. That is the part of a graphical part, and then list of sequences, and then we have a alignment part. So still the program is going on, and then until now we will go to the other sequence, the search tool, that is what the pairwise element. So now the results are available. As I told, it will have a graphical part, and it will have a list, and it will have a alignment. But all the cases the same sequence are displayed. For example, here the first output is, you can see when I place a cursor in the red bar, you can see the sequence name here in this box. See now the same sequence, alpha amylase 4029 number, and when you come to the list also we have the same sequence 4029 number, and then if you go to here the same access number is given. So the same sequence, but it's different formats you are getting it. And this BLAST sequence clearly indicates that this enzyme is unanimously present. It is present almost in several organisms which would have a similarity greater than 200. So if any sequence having similarity between 80 to 200, it is placed here. If it is between 50 to 80, it is placed here. But since the sequence contains the similarity score greater than 200, it is shows only the red color. And then the scores are indicated here, the maximum score, and then the coverage, how much it is. Almost the first hit always found to be our query sequence. So we have to concentrate on the other sequences. If you want to carry out pairwise alignment of this sequence with similar organism sequence, you can select any one of the sequence from the list. See, our sequence is actually Homo sapiens sequence, so we have to select another sequence for the pairwise alignment. So I have selected this pan-troclac sequence, and then I can select this gorilla sequence, and then pan-panicus sequence. And these are all things which will be useful for the multiple sequence alignment. And then we can, but it's better to avoid this type of predicted sequences. And then so we go for this pan-panicus sequence. And even now you can see we took actually salivary amylase, alpha amylase is a salivary amylase sequence, and we can also compare the salivary amylase sequence even with the pancreatic amylase if you select this. But for multiple sequence alignment, we can select different organisms, it may be better. So again we will use already I hope we opened the gorilla, and then okay, we have to click actually the sequence number should be selected, I hope. So this is a query sequence, and you have to select this is a predicted, so we should avoid this. You can select this sequence, and then this is a gorilla. It is actually a pancreatic amylase of gorilla, so you can select this, and then you select precursor sequence from this organism, and here also we select this sequence from this organism. So almost we selected 1, 2, 3, 4 sequences. Already we have our sequence. So 5 sequences are selected for the pairwise and others. So in all the cases we select this FASTA format because it is required. The sequences are required in a FASTA format for the searches. So by using this BLAST tool, we can easily identify the similar sequences. That's why we are using this BLAST tool. So now from this BLAST output, we have collected 4 more sequences, and this 4 more sequences might be placed in a notepad to get to run simply the multiple sequence alignment tool. So for that purpose, we have to create a notepad with the name of MSA multiple sequence alignment, and then open it. And this notepad, you just copy all these 4 sequences. This is what our first sequence, human amylase, and it should be paste, and then you just enter, and then you copy the cellular amylase from another spaces, and then you type enter, and then you select another sequence, then you copy it and paste it, and then you copy this sequence by using right click option copy, and similarly you can paste here by giving then right click paste option, and then you go for the 4th one and you copy your sequence and then you paste here. Okay, so this is how we can copy and paste the 4 altogether 5 sequences, and then in all the sequences you have to do one thing, that is you have to delete all this number up to this organism name. Okay, because almost all the sequences are amylase sequence, so you have to remove all those terminology and you keep only the organism name. So when you compare a multiple sequence alignment, it is very easy for the prediction. So okay, you remove the name and then you keep only the organisms. You just remove the name of the organisms, and then if you see this organism is actually available in 2 times, so you better remove one sequence. So we should get one more sequence from this BLAST output. Okay, this method, it's an hypothetical protein, so it's better to avoid. And we'll take that Homo sapiens pancreatic sequence. Okay, it's only 92B precursor, so it is only this. Or you can also use a pancreatic human alpha amylase Homo sapiens, and then you search for it. Another organism. So you can use this hypothetical protein. It is the protein which is not yet proved, but you can see this, it is having a 95% similarity to the. So we will take that sequence also for this multiple sequence alignment. Okay, so you copy this sequence and then you paste here at the last sequence. So we collected 5 sequence and then we had saved it as a simple FASTA format as a MSA file. Okay. So after this you can close all these files. So now we run the BLAST program, and this image is no longer is available, and it is also not possible to save this. So for this purpose you have to use the print screen button of your window to save this file. After you clicking the print screen, you go to a paint program and then you save So you have to type. Okay, it is going wrong. So you simply type paint and this is the program. You just double click it and then it will open. So paint is open now, and then you paste the print screen pattern. So this is how you can save the file by using file save as any one of the form. So this is how the Blast graphical form should be saved. Okay. So in this we will save this as a Blast. So this is how the graphical part should be saved. Then you can save the other part of the file as usual, like file save pages option should be used to save this normal Blast. This is how we can save this. So now we carried out local alignment of a gene sequence. Now we have to carry out pairwise alignment of the gene sequence. So to carry out a pairwise alignment, we go for FASTA in EBA. Okay, so you type FASTA and EBA, and then if you go to EBA also, we have so many tools in EBA to carry out this FASTA. You can see this FASTA protein is available, and then you click this link. So this is the tool which is actually available to carry out the FASTA search. Like Blast, it is also having different subdivisions like FASTA X, FASTA Y, and then SS search, and then GS search, like this. So this FASTA tool can be used for both local as well as global alignment. We always go for a global alignment. The general FASTA program always carry out a global alignment. Okay, now since we are going to carry out pairwise alignment of your sequence with the database, so you can either use your own sequence, or you can select any one of the database. Okay, so if you want to carry out this parallel alignment of a particular sequence, you will submit your already available sequence here, and then you can carry out a Blast search. So we will copy this file and then paste here, and then we will run submit button, and then usually for protein sequence we will select the protein database. The FASTA program is running. Here it is also very much similar to Blast. It will also, but here you will get a global alignment. So our main purpose is that to get a global alignment. So to get a global alignment, it is better you go to Google, Java is running now. So we go to another tool. So we are going to Google. You can use any one of the emboss program for pairwise alignment also. So you can type emboss pairwise alignment. See, so many pairwise alignment tools are available in this. So if you want to carry out global alignment, it's better to use emboss needle. And this emboss needle, there are two options are available. So in one option you paste your sequence of first one, and then we will paste say for example a sequence of other organism, and then you can click the submit option, and it gives a more simple output and easy output also compared to this normal FASTA program. this emboss program will give its output very quickly. See now, we compare the sequence. Here it's a global alignment. You can see the whole sequence length starting from 1 to 511 of human, and then 1 to 511 of the other organism is compared as a full sequence, and they have a score of about 2824, and it has 509 similar sequences and 506 similar identical sequences are present between the two sequences. You can see now the identical sequences are indicated by bar, the similar sequences are indicated by the dot. If they are not, the similarity is very high, it is indicated by double dot. If it is very less, it is indicated by single dot. There is no similarities between the sequence, it is given without any space. Okay, so this is how the pairwise global alignment can be carried. So pairwise global alignment, we should use this emboss needle program. For a simple FASTA program, we will use this EMBL FASTA. It is almost similar to that of Blast. That is, it will have a table that is the list of the similar sequence, and then it is also having a graphical output like FASTA program. It is also having a graphical output, and it also to be saved by using the method I told earlier. And then it will also have an alignment part. See now, it's also having alignment part of the sequence. Since it is a global alignment tool, it compares the whole sequence. You can see now, starting from the first sequence to last sequence. So that is the difference between Blast and FASTA. So FASTA compares the full sequences, whereas the Blast compares only the local alignment. So this is how you can carry out the global alignment by using either FASTA tool in EMBL, or you can use this emboss needle tool in EBI instead. Okay, so it will give all the data when you are using it and what are the data. Say for example, gap open part and gap extension values, or all the things are indicated in your output. So the gap open is always ranges from 1 to 100, whereas this gap extension is always ranges from, say, you can see here in more options, all these things are available. So gap extension always ranges from 0.005 to 10 in the case of needle. If you go to normal FASTA program, before that you can save this file FASTA output, then you go back and you can see the normal thing. In this you can see the gap extension and the other options will be here. We can also see the values, ranges, gap open range is different, gap extension range is different. If you go to gap needle program, the gap extension is minimum option is 0.5, so it is varies from 0.5 to 10 generally, and whereas gap open is ranges from 1 to 100. So this is about the ranges of gaps values which is given. Over here it is actually 0.0005 is the lower limit and 10 is the upper limit for the gap extension in the case of needle. So like this you can change all this parameter and you can run this FASTA program for gap open and gap extension, both the programs. Okay, now we completed local pairwise alignment and global pairwise alignment, and then now we will go for a multiple sequence alignment.